And welcome back to another episode of Live Reality Games as we cover live reality games from Australia to Vancouver and now here for the Caucus Challenge. We are joined today with Lance, Dre, and Jalen, three huge names in the live reality game community that we're catching up with today. Quick little introduction about what the Caucus Challenge is, and then we'll talk about episode 1 a little bit. And then, of course, just do a little interview about the contestants. So first up, joining us is Lance, King Lance, as he is better known as in some parts of this town. Lance, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, and I'm excited for everyone to see what the Caucus Challenge is all about. There's not many challenge games out there, and to introduce the Caucus Challenge to the live reality game world, I'm excited.
I'm excited as well. So I know Big Brother, I know Survivor, and I know the challenge is different. So I'm excited to see something different and a little bit out there. You know, we just started seeing more of like the mole come out, and now we can see some of the challenge. Also, joining us here is Jalen. Jalen, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. It's really, really cool to see Dre and Dre.Media continue to grow and enter in this whole new world, and I can't wait to see where it goes.
I'm excited for it too. So I watched another series that Dre.Media also put on, and Jalen, that's kind of what you started in Dre.Media, correct?
Yeah, I started in Dre.Media on The Life We Live Season 6, Dallas. And so it's really, really cool because I'm watching the Caucus Challenge and I'm seeing some people that I know personally. I'm seeing some people that I know have drama with others. And I'm a fan. I'm a viewer just like everybody else. I don't know what happens, and I'm excited to see the drama that's going to unfold.
I remember watching one of the Life We Lived, and my coworker at the time, every time in my lunch break, she's like, we have to watch that show again. I'm like, okay, we can watch it together for sure. So props to Dre. Dre, you are kind of, I don't know, what do you say, the producer, founder? How do you categorize yourself for Dre.Media, and tell us what Dre.Media is?
Okay, so Dre.Media is like, it's just me. Like, I started in high school with reptile equipment because I used to have a ball python. So all my lighting was through like what I had with my reptiles. I had an iPhone and iMovie. And then recently, like, it's just grown, and now it's just my brand. Dre.Media is my brand. It's what I love to do. So I love to travel. When I travel and I get content, it's just all in one. Like, overall, Dre.Media is just me, my brand, and the life I live.
So this is kind of like the intro to Dre.Media for us too. We've seen some of the other things. So how does the challenge, the Caucus Challenge per se, stack up to like games out there? What is it comprised of?
Okay, so I was actually telling Lance before he came on the Caucus Challenge, I'm like, I know you're part of the LRG community, but the difference between Caucus and I think other live games is like you become a character on Caucus Challenge. So everything you do follows you. It's not like a different cast every season. Like, if you have a rivalry with somebody, it's going to carry on for seasons to come. If you backstab people, you're going to have to deal with them again. It's not, oh, every cast is different. For example, my first and only game that I ever played was The Mole, and I played with Lance, and I played with Josh, and a bunch of other people. I could say and do whatever I want because I probably will never see them again. But if you come on Caucus and you choose to, return, everything that you do is going to affect when you return.
Absolutely. We are watching Victor House, The Mole, right now that you are on. How was that experience for you, Dre? Was it the first time that you were a player yourself?
So it wasn't the first time I've played because I've played Caucus when I first started it. When it was like backyard games, it was just a little like 10 people messing around in the backyard, whatever. And then this was like my return season in like over, I don't know how many years. I just played this season, and then I'm always on TLWL. It's not a competition, but I am one of the cast members. So being on The Mole, the only thing that had me nervous with The Mole was I don't edit, so I don't know what's going to be portrayed. When I edit Caucus and I edit TLWL and I know how the episode's going to play out. I know what's being said. I do what I have to do, and that's it. There's no surprise for me. So watching the mole, I'm like, okay, this is like my first time actually seeing myself and having no idea what's gonna happen.
So make sure you are saying that make sure you edit yourself really well, and now you're kind of nervous with somebody else with the power. That's what you're saying.
No, not at all. I'm very comfortable with who I am, and I think that who you get on the mole, the caucus, whatever, that's how I am in real life. So I wasn't nervous about like being portrayed in the wrong way. I was just nervous like, oh my God, what is going to be portrayed? Because I know people, like, for example, Lance and Jalen could say they watch TLWO and they'll be like, oh my God, I don't remember that. So like I watched the mole and I'm like, oh my God, I don't remember that. So that's really it. But other than that, I'm an open book. I'm me, and what you see on camera is what you get in real life. So
definitely, you're just hoping that one time that you sneeze in front of everyone, they cut. That's what you're saying. Exactly.
Yes, good angles only.
One of the viewers right now just chimed in. Camila, I think she might be a cast member on this current season, correct?
Yes.
So hey, best of luck to you. And honestly, Lance and Dre, since you were playing in the challenge too, best of luck to you. I have no idea how the challenge ends or what happens in it. It's already getting a little bit juicy. Like, Lance, you and Janice already kind of had a spat about like you kind of running the show on your team. But before we get into that, let's just talk about the cast members in general. Let's get to meet them a little bit. So here's just some pictures from Dre.Media's Instagram. You can check out Dre.Media on Instagram on the link right below, Instagram.com/Dre.Media. And that's kind of where you're kind of posting all the spoilers and little like hints about when the show comes out. Is that right?
Yeah, so it's just, that's where we keep up with everything. There's spoilers, there's deleted scenes, there's just sneak peeks, everything that you would want to see and keep up with. If you want to keep up with Dre.Media, whether it's Caucus Challenge or TLWO, you could go to Dre.Media on Instagram.
Perfect. Word for the wise, if you are watching the intro to this, do not eat lunch at the same time.
You're right.
Similar to MTV's The Challenge, they will show everything. So it looks like you have a gross food eating challenge coming up at some point.
Yeah.
And yeah, we don't hide any of it from you on this one. So, but anyway, let's get to introduce our castmates here. Here is the green team. The green team is all newbies. Lance, by any how are you still referred as a rookie in this season? Like,
well, I'm considered a rookie because it's my debut into the Dre.Media Caucus Challenge. I've, as many people know, I've participated in many different live games, but I never stepped foot into this franchise. So it's my debut in this franchise, and I'm coming as a rookie, but super far from a rookie, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. You're starting another one coming up soon that we can root for you. The cast was announced last year sometime. Are you excited for your next experience?
Yes, it's been a long time coming. Cast was actually announced in 2019. Game was supposed to happen in 2020, but due to the pandemic, I'll be competing in a charity event starting this Thursday in Minnesota called Live to Give, where the season is called Fans versus Favorites versus Famous, where it pairs reality TV stars against favorites that played Live to Give and fans of the show. I'm considered a fan because I never participated in Live to Give, but I'm excited to see how that turned out. It's been a long time coming, and we all raise a lot of money for our charity, and I want to bring home that check.
Absolutely. One of our admins on Live Reality Game says #Team Lance. And I wasn't typing yet. Not like I'm not Team Lance, but
Yeah.
Somebody else out there is rooting for you as well. So
I appreciate it.
Best of luck to you. So we have Lance on the team. Jalen, you have kind of known a few of these people just based on your experience with Dre.Media. Who would you say on the rookie team Lance should watch out for? Jalen? I got you. Hold on.
There I go. Sorry. Here's where it gets interesting because I haven't met a lot of the rookies, and I'm excited to see because a lot of these people from Jersey kind of know each other and have these relationships, and Lance is coming in as a strategic powerhouse and well-known. So it's going to see where the past relationships versus the true strategic mastermind that Lance is. I would say he should watch out for anybody that he easily gets in arguments with, like I believe Steven in that first episode, because they all know each other. And so Lance is not known to keep his mouth shut for anything. And so I would watch out for or target first anybody that he thinks he's going to get on his nerves easy, because if they have connections, they might have connections that he doesn't even know about. And all it takes is one sentence to throw Lance's name out there and put him at risk for elimination.
Absolutely, Lance. You and Steven are not getting to the best of terms right off the bat. Steven says something to the side, not even directed at you, and you were like, tell it to my face.
But y'all have to realize that perception is reality. We're in a scenario where we're trying to do what's best for the team. Everyone's giving their input, and I'm trying to give my input. And if someone is like cuddled up to the side, easily you feel like, oh, they're talking about me because I'm handling this situation. As y'all can see in Steven's intro, he talked about wanting to be the Nene Leakes, not the Serena Williams. Everyone who watches real reality TV know that Nene Leakes is there for the mess. And Serena Williams is the iconic athlete. He's not trying to be the athlete. He's trying to bring the mess. And at the end of the day, I'm a good mix of mess and game, and I don't have time for that.
Mm-hmm. Another shout out for Team Lance here. Neville chiming in, and then also a little shout out to Jalen. Go Jalen.
Hey, Neville.
Now I'm curious. Like Josh has already kind of switched things up. So the end of the game, the rookies win. Spoiler alert. This is a recap, like it says in the intro here. So hopefully that gave you a forewarning. But still, watch the episode. It's always. You know how it ends sometimes, but it's always how it gets there, which is the best part. And this show, it's really how it gets there. Lots of drama, lots of feedback from contestants. But anyway, Josh already throws you like for a tailspin a little bit. He chooses the partner that you didn't necessarily agree with. Like, did you see that coming at all?
Go ahead, Dre.
So, okay, I probably am the closest person to Josh on the season, and I was not expecting it simply because of the conversations that were being had when we had time to strategize. This man did not talk to anybody but one specific vet, so I thought he was picking Amanda. But if like thinking back on it, I'm not shocked. That's how Josh plays. Josh is a wild card. He goes in and he'll be like for example, he only really knows me and Lance, and he'll be like, yeah, like I want to work with you guys, but the second someone's like, let's throw Lance and Dre, and he's like, all right, I'm down.
Yeah. So Josh is very flip-floppy, and we know that from us competing in like small little games during TLWL. So for me, Josh was always someone I was going to be on edge with. And as well as you continue to watch the mole, you might see a couple like things that might show Josh's true character. So going in, this was actually taped after the mole. So going into this game, it was a little interesting, and I wasn't sure how our relationship would be. But I was the team captain, and me and Ava was talking to everyone, trying to figure out who was picking who, trying to figure out the order. For me, first of all, to make sure that my allies had a good partner and that people that I didn't really want to work with was on teams together, so that would be easy for me to throw in eliminations. So Sabina, who's on the rookie girl picture, the vet girl picture, and her boyfriend Tex, who was right there in the middle, was planning to be partners because they were dating. And, it was like, okay, fine. Y'all can be partners. That's easy. They'll go into every elimination until they're gone. Eventually, they'll be out. And Josh just dropped the bomb because come to find out, he wanted Damaris, who was picked by Nevin first. And then if it wasn't Damaris, it was Sabina because he wanted a strong partner, which is kudos to him. But it threw up the whole trajectory of how we expected this game to go.
100%. I think that Sabina's a beast, and you guys are going to see that. But what Lance and I were trying to do was we knew a lot of the rookie guys wanted Sabina, and I was like, absolutely not. Keep her with her boyfriend because she's not in my alliance, and that's two people that will have one vote at the end of the day. So when Josh pulled that move, he set the tone for the game. I'm telling you that right now. He set the tone for the game, and his decision plays a big part on the entire game.
Yeah, Jalen, what was your thought process whenever that all happened?
I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant because what's his partner's boyfriend? What's Tex gonna do come after his girlfriend and this random dude that just threw him for a loop. No, you're kind of forced to work with him. And I think it was smart because he already kind of knows you, and you might not target him right away based on past relationships. And he knows some people from the TLWL franchise. And so to branch out from the TLWL franchise and go into the local Caucus crew, and not only that, but jump in the middle of a relationship, Josh is someone who I feel like he's either going to land or he's going to not land as far as social standings with the cast. And so even if he doesn't land socially, he landed in between a relationship. And that's going to keep him in the game at least past, in my opinion, the beginning, unless he just totally screws up in these challenges or does something stupid.
And it looks like Kristen out in the audience says so too. Kristen says it was a big move, and she thought so as well. Kristen, whoever you are, like, I'm excited for your feedback too. So keep us up to date on that. We'll get you in here too. Nice little shout out to you, Dre, though. Calling you a king as well. So Lance, you better watch that crown of yours, okay? Let's see here. Moving on with the cast of the rookies for the guys. Is it Nevin? Is that the young one?
Yes, Nevin.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, he's 16. He's already for a game. He's competing with these, per se, a little older of contestants. Like, was that a little threatening, Lance, coming in and seeing this, like, 16-year-old and you maybe a little bit older?
Honestly, for me, because if you go back and watch some of the older seasons of Dre.Media's Caucus Challenge, his little brother, Oscar, who is in this season, was a little fart, 9 years old, playing the Caucus Challenge, fussing with teenagers way older than him. So my goal was like, hey, if there's anybody young, Lance, you're not about to fuss with these little kids. You are an adult. And finding out that Nevin was 16 is like, okay, I got to tread lightly. My mouth got to be a little more filtered. You know, it was a little intimidating, but he was honestly a really good presence as a whole. And like, he was one of the rookies that was welcoming to me as someone who's not from the area. Like Dre mentioned, a lot of these people that's playing this game this season are from the area. And I'm one of I think maybe the only one that came from like out the state of like New York, New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides Janice, but like, yeah.
Janice is interesting to get into. She is one of my favorite characters in your other series too, so I'm super excited to see Janice play, like 100%. We're still on the guys here, just on the next little slideshow here from Dre.Media's Instagram page. We have the guys of the vets. Now, it seems like JT's already won one, so he's got some competition. I wasn't exactly sure where Vito, the guy on the top right, where he fit in. He seems to have a past relationship with Amanda. Did I understand that correctly?
Ava.
Thank you.
So,
and how do they know each other, Dre?
So, okay, Vieto is from like earlier seasons of the Caucus Challenge. He actually competed in one of them, and his partner quit on him, so he got eliminated. And then he so happened to have the season he was competing on was a format of like exes. He so happened to have another ex, so they got brought back. But he knows Ava because they're in the same grade, and we all went to high school together. Caucus is a very, very, very small town, so that's how it was so easy to get like Caucus Challenge to become a thing. And it used to be like a friends game. That's why everybody sort of kind of knows each other. But now, as we're getting older, people are like dating people outside of Caucus. I'm making friends outside of Caucus. We go to college in different schools that are not in Caucus. So anybody that really knows each other is definitely from high school, and that's just their connection. They're still really good friends outside of high school.
Now, besides Dre, of course, Dre is a huge threat in his own matter. Jalen, do you know any of these guys on this side?
I do. I know JT. He was actually one of my favorite people, one of the favorite people I met on TLWL Dallas. And I know he is a big threat in this realm. He has a lot of connections. He's a good competitor. But the thing about JT that I think we need to watch out for is that he might get a little too cocky and get a little too comfortable. And there's one thing you cannot do in these games and that's get comfortable. He has the relationships, he has the physicality, he's won before. He might get to a point in this game where he might get a little too comfortable, and that's the perfect time to make a move like that. And I also am one of the biggest Oscar stans. I always was a fan of Oscar from his early seasons of the Caucus Challenge, because I've watched all the other seasons. Like, I've binge watched them all. And Lance and I, before Lance was even on TLWL and I was even on TLWL, we were cracking up on the phone. We just loved Oscar because he is fearless. And I really want to see that fearlessness in this season. I know he said he's going to try and keep his mouth a little, like, tame, but I don't buy it. I give it like 2 episodes, and we're going to see the whole Oscar again.
Yeah, and I could attest to what Jalen is talking about, because, like, if people don't know, Jalen cracked into the live game world at like 16 years old. Like,
I was 17 in my first live game, and so you can't underestimate the young ones. You cannot underestimate the young ones.
Yeah, so whenever we talked about Oscar, he was like, I see Oscar as a baby version of me, because Oscar was even younger, jumping into reality TV gaming, and he became a star. Like, if y'all go back and watch some of those seasons, y'all would be like, this kid.
Those confessionals.
Oscar is a face of the Caucus Challenge. You love him or hate him, he's a face of the challenge. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my brother, we don't even, like, he's so annoying in real life, but on the show, he is a character and he is a face of the show. Like, you cannot not give him credit.
Yeah, we saw a family compete over in Vancouver in Battle Royale, which is brought to you by The Amazing Hunt, and they do a really great job of production. Some of the younger kids just, like, outshined in strategy and how they played the game. Like, there was this 13-year-old that knew exactly how to play Survivor. She was definitely eliminated because she was so good. That's at least what I want to say on that part. Yeah, Oscar seemed to be one of the last people to take, though. Looking at my list, why do you think he was one of the last on the list? Is he just a little bit more outspoken?
No, I think it's because his age. I mean, this was the first time he had his friends, and his friends were competing as well. So, like Lance said, Oscar used to play in seasons where he was 10, 12 years old, and it was all high schoolers, and he was still in middle school. Now this season, Nevin, Camilla, and Sarah are all his age. They all go to school together. Mm-hmm. But I think that because of the history of the show, like I said, people know how his mouth is. They know he probably has the least amount of connection, or that's what they think. And that's really how the picking order went, because I think that anybody who has been a fan of the show knows what vets to pick and what vets not to pick. I think that if the roles were reversed, it would have been way, way harder, because we don't know what the rookies are capable of. All we got to see was them run and somewhat make a puzzle, because only 2 of them could work on it. So if roles were reversed, the whole game, I think, would have been changed, would have been a different course. But since the rookies have gotten to see what the vets are made of, it was definitely easy to be like, oh, I want this person. This person might be able to balance me out here, yada, yada, yada.
As someone that doesn't follow the challenge per se on MTV, is there a swap at all, or are you with these teammates, these partners? Traditionally speaking, does MTV normally switch pairs up?
So it's every challenge is a different format. It's not like Survivor. That's what I was trying to explain earlier. Like Survivor, Big Brother has like their little twists, like Battle of the Block and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's an eviction. At the end of the day, it's a tribal. Caucus Challenge is like, there's different things. There's purges. There's double eliminations. There's no eliminations. There's partner swaps. It's all different things. You might be working in groups of 6. You might be working individually. It's always different.
Yeah, like one season you could be with your best friend. The next season you could be with your worst enemy. Next season it could be individual. One season it could be a full team game. It's so much that can happen with the challenge.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see how it plays out. Moving on to our females from the rookie team. I said it before. Janice is in the comments too. Janice, I was waiting to bring it up.
Yes, Janice.
Like, you have a personality that's over like TV. It goes through the TV. Like, you get involved in you and your experience. So I'm going to say Janice wins the whole thing already. I don't know how this works. Do 2 people win? I don't know, but go Janice. So, my 2 cents. Jalen, are you familiar with any of these rookie players here?
I am. So I know Janice personally, and I know of Ava from TLWL, and Janice is one of my favorite people in the TLWL or Dre.Media franchise, period. We bonded so quickly, and it was one of the people that I was so unexpected because you watch her earlier seasons in her introduction to Dre.Media, and she's more quiet and reserved. But as she has repeatedly shown up in this franchise, I think Janice's true character and her personality and the life, her life is kind of showing out in the series, and we love to see it. She's a great person, great human being. Love her. I'm rooting for her. Like, Janice is the #1 girl that I'm rooting for. I want to see her do really well.
Yeah, and honestly, that's why me and Dre talk about it all the time. Like, filming, I've done a lot of things, but like filming TLWL has shown me like a different trajectory of so many different types of people. It showcases someone to come one season and be super in their shell or super outlandish and either like revert, go the other way. It's amazing. And that's one example is Janice has really like thrived the more she's done Dre.Media shows.
Yeah, and like what I'm gonna add is Janice had it rough on her debut in Dre.Media. Like, none of the girls liked her in Colorado. I don't want to call them bullies, but they basically bullied the girl for being quiet and to herself. And, we saw a little bit of her finally, like she had enough of it and she stood up for herself. But, in the premiere of Caucus, she's like, she did not Janice was not supposed to be on the cast. She was a replacement. JT did not want her competing because he felt that if his girlfriend was in the game, it was going to ruin his chances of winning. But we had someone drop, and I was like, Janice, you're doing it. And she was literally crapping her pants. But like she said, she's not sure if she's built for the challenge, and you guys are going to see that she's built for the challenge.
She has similar thoughts too. She's like, I just don't want to work with JT. JT is not on my team. Anybody else besides JT. So,
yeah, 100%.
I understand where she's coming from. Having played a number of live games with Kirk as well, it's usually pretty difficult to make it to the end with your significant other. So, best of luck to you. Yeah. So maybe I'm saying maybe not best of luck to JT, but maybe best of luck to everybody. I don't know.
Yeah.
That. Let's see. Now, Camila, I'm really interested in, from the sound of it, her sister won one of these games. Is that correct?
The very first one.
Something like that. They're able to give the loved ones the hints, the strategies, how to play. Dre, recap that season. Camila's sister wins.
So if you actually go to it, please don't. I dread it. It is the most horrible season. It was 8 people.
Just talk to us about it then. Okay. So
no one showed up. It was 6 girls, I think, and 2 guys. So I had to just pull things out of nowhere. And that's what really started the Caucus Challenge, because people saw it and they saw it at school and they were like, how do I get on this? Like, I want to do it. So that's how that was kind of the snowball to it all. Camilla's sister, Gabby, is the first champion of the franchise, of the series. And she honestly is not well liked. She was the fans do not like her. They think that she did not deserve to win. And I'm not going to lie, coming into the season when I cast Camilla, I was like, oh, she's going to be like her sister. Her sister was scared of everything, didn't want to do anything, was not strategic. And Camilla was the complete opposite. So there's so many resemblance. If I could, I would pull up a picture of Gab on here. So they're exactly twins, but one is definitely way more competitive, and it's definitely Camilla.
Interesting to see. Now, the person that I didn't hear a lot from was Sarah.
Queen.
She got a ton in the edit, so.
Genius. That's all.
Honestly, for me, I can give a little insight on Sarah. Sarah was Oscar's, Camilla's, Nevin's friend. So, they were a tight-knit group. They were, in pre-production stuff, like us getting ready to film, was always in a huddle, things like that. She was very sweet, very outgoing. It's just right now, it's other people standing out in the episodes where eventually you might see a little bit more from Sarah and see her like true color shine. But I think it's just because it's so early that, we can't fit everything from everyone in yet. But definitely Sarah will make her presence known, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm excited to see everyone come up. I know this is only the first episode. You get like 30-some minutes of this, so this is great to watch like on a lunch break or something like that. Or I would say when you're driving home, except for you shouldn't be watching these things when you're driving. However, I know some people do, so maybe just listen to the recap and watch it at lunch. I don't know. Next, and our last group to cover are the vets. And there's a lot of faces that I recognize from other stuff as well. However, there's some that are returnees from past Caucus challenges that I am not familiar with. And some winners, 2 winners, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
3 winners.
3 winners. Oh, I missed one.
Yes.
Who are our winners?
We have Damaris and Deja, who won a season together, paired as rivals, and then we have Sabina, who won her rookie season.
Wow. Lance, knowing that information, did you know that at the time, where you were a little intimidated?
Yeah, like I got into Dre.Media because I, stumbled across YouTube and found the Caucus Challenge. The Caucus Challenge is what I found out way before TLWL. So like I binge watched, just like Jalen talked, binge watched every single season. So I felt like I knew each one of these people without never meeting them. Deja was someone to me that was like badass. Like she's the female version of me, and I love that in a competitor. Sabina was someone that I'm like, she's a badass, but I don't know, me and her mouth, I don't know, I can deal with Deja's mouth, but I don't know, Sabina gives a different type of energy. And Damaris just all around sweet person, competitor. So once I saw who was my option for Rookie Girls, my top 2 picks were Deja, Damaris. I need a good partner. But the crazy part is every rookie girl besides Sabina, I made an amazing connection with once the cast was announced. Me and Amanda was like thick as thieves, and Jasley, that girl has a freaking heart of gold, and she's there to prove that she's here for redemption because of her former past.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of these players are coming back after so much time of not having played before. How long has it really been? Because they kept saying millions of years, and of course this isn't millions of years. But generally speaking, how long has it been?
That's Amanda, dramatic self.
Our last challenge was not right before. It was March of 2019. That was the last time we filmed, and then this season was supposed to film that upcoming summer, but it just never did because COVID ended up hitting. For example, Amanda, we're 22 now. The last time she played was 17. She was literally 17. We were seniors in high school. And there a lot of people are making really big returns. Deja, Amanda, even my sister and Jasley. I think the only girl that was on the last season from the vets was Sabina.
Wait, Jasley's your sister, you said?
No, Damaris is my sister.
Oh, Damaris is your sister. I had no idea. That was not in the... update my notes here.
Yeah, so think about that connection. You got his brother Oscar, you got Damaris, his sister, and him, and then his TLWL people. Just think of all of that.
Gosh, you have the biggest target, Dre. I'm sorry. I think you're limited first now. Okay, you were way too well connected.
Steven did predict in the intro of Meet the Rookies. He said, "I'm calling it now. Dre is going to be the first one out." So we'll see.
Ooh, a little foreshadowing there. Jalen, having played these live reality games from a younger age, now kind of still playing them currently, how is your difference of when you played back then, similar to the girls now coming back 5 years later or so?
Oh my goodness. I think the difference between when I played back then into what they're doing now is, for at least my first game, I had the anonymity where nobody knew who I was, and I could smile to your face and be the 17-year-old Bible college student and then cut you like nothing and go on to the end, and people eventually caught on, and I had to adapt and change and whatever. But the issue is with these girls playing at a young age and coming back even at their return is in the beginning they had the anonymity, and with the Caucus Challenge, what you see every season is there is so many ups and downs with these casts, and these females, they bring it. They serve like Damaris, Sabina, Deja, like those three specifically. I remember watching those old challenges, and when they were in eliminations, doing the pole wrestling and certain things, they gave their everything. And especially females in the live game community, it's hard to find ones that will bring it confessionally, challenge-wise, strategically. And so it's really, really cool to see that, you know, I've had like years gaps between some games, and it really has helped me refresh because you grow and you change as a person. You genuinely do. And so these girls who have not played a game in 3 to 4 years, 2 years, you know, even like 1 year, you still change as a person. And so maybe, just maybe, they can try and, even if they haven't changed, trick people thinking they did and get a second W in the series. But I'm excited. Like the girls have me hyped because the rookies and the vets, they bring it.
Absolutely. I think the entire cast really brings it too. Just watching the first episode, everybody is there to play. Everybody wants to compete. And so, and what? You think somebody
I will say this. There are some people, like Lance said, I do have a lot of connections. I think that people think because I have a lot of connections in the game that it's easier. It's actually not. It makes me have to be more savage because people think because they're my friend, I'm going to be like, yeah, let's go to the final together. But there are people specifically in this photo that I love outside the game. But once that whistle blows, I want them out. Like, I don't want to speak to you. I don't want to work with you. I'm just over you. You can go home. So I'll say that. And I don't think everybody was there for the right reasons or to really win. And I think it's going to show throughout the season.
I was like, well, the first edit you did on episode 1, everyone seems like they really want to win. So good job on the editing side, okay?
Thank you.
Shout out for some people watching at home. Thank you, Michael DeLucas, for the nice comment about the podcast. Frank, who just played Reelfoot this last, and he asked about the link. There's a link in the description there. You can watch his deep dive Steven and him did just a few days ago. And then Jonathan is here saying, go Lance and go Jalen and Dre as well.
Yeah,
thank you for coming out and supporting this wonderful show. We're just getting started with episode 1. We kind of just made it through the cast list here. Jalen, do you know how this show goes? Do you know the ending of this?
Of this series? I have no idea what happens at all. Okay. I have no idea who goes home first, who wins the series, the twists, and that makes it so much more fun for me. I don't want to know. I'm excited to watch it play out.
Absolutely. Well, do you want to do a little a bet with me? So
yes. Okay. Let's do it.
They broke up into pairs. Our pairs are Lance and Deja, Ava and is it Beto?
Beto.
Thank you. Nevin and Damaris, Camila and JT, Josh and Sabina, Janice and Dre, Tex and Jasley, Sarah and Oscar, Steven and Amanda. You're the guest here today. So, Jalen, pick your final pair to win it all.
My final pair?
Damn. I have a list in the private chat if you need a reminder of the options here.
Okay. Wow. Like we're not just picking like who's making the final pick and the winner pick.
I love it.
Because I'm assuming like a pair like wins, but we'll go one pair and then we'll have a bonus person at the end, okay? I like bonuses. So what pair is going to win?
Man, I think there are so many personal connections in this game. And I really believe that there is going to come a point where the friends realize, oh, you can't take everybody to a final. And they're going to have to reach out to people that they don't really know to help them get there. And drama is going to happen. I don't know a lot of these people, but I do know some. And if I have to place a bet on anybody to be able to do this, I'm not just saying that because this person is here. but I would bet it all on Lance and Deja. I know, and I'll tell you why, because Lance and we talk on the phone almost every day, and I know going into this game how bad Lance wants to do well. I know he's really strategic. I know he has his relationships. Yes, he has a hot temper and a mouth and will snap, but if there's anybody who can pull it out of wherever and make a miracle happen, I know Lance can. And I know that Deja, like I said earlier, has that anonymity of she's still a very familiar face in the TLWL or Dre.Media franchise because she hosts the reunions and she was a part of the early seasons. And she is somebody that everybody, I don't know anybody who has beef with Deja. I could be really wrong. I don't know people who have beef with, I'm probably really wrong. Deja in the series, but I don't know. They're very likable. I don't know. I just don't see some of these Caucus kids doing well. I think they're going in relying on the fact that they know people in the game, and that's just not enough. You have to be able to make moves and make it happen. So I think Lance's strategic edge to him is gonna help him win this thing.
Yeah, I think Lance is making some really great moves at first. Is he making too many moves? Is he going to be painting too much of a target on Lance's back? He's already called out Steven. He's already gotten into a little spat with Janice. 30 seconds into the episode, you see them arguing about something about being captain or which way to go, honestly. So I think Lance is painting himself too big. The other person that's making all the strategic decisions is our other guest here tonight, Dre. Dre, you seem to be the right-hand guy to Lance's king power. You're the second king in command right now. So once the first king gets eliminated from some challenge or some vote, I don't really know how the challenge works per se. I think Dre, you'll be there with Janice just fine to pick up the remaining pieces.
You love Janice.
You never want to be the head of the snake. Just the head of the snake always goes first.
Oh, well, man, so it doesn't look very good to you. So
exactly. Tragic. And also, Dustyn, you love Janice. We all love Janice. So
I was going to say that for my bonus, but I was I don't want Jalen to swoop in and get my bonus pick. So
I'm gonna be real with you. Can I just be real? Can I just let's have a real moment on this podcast right now?
Yeah.
I love Janice so much. As a person, as a player, I want to see her succeed. I'm a little worried that there is going to come a crossroads because she loves JT a lot. And what I'm worried about and what I really want to see, I think that Janice, socially, is going to be in a better position in this game than her boyfriend. I think JT is a big target on his back, and if he doesn't, the other players are dumb. And so I am worried that Janice, and they're going to come a point in this game where Janice is going to do something stupid to sacrifice herself and her place in this game to help JT go further, and that's what I don't want to see. I don't know if Janice is going to have that cutthroat move in the game, in the series, that could get her the win. I think I don't want her to sacrifice her game for her boyfriend. I know she wants him to do so well. I'm just nervous about it.
Yeah, it sounds like she doesn't even want to play with JT though. So she's ready to cut him first off the bat. She's get him out of here.
She doesn't want to be his partner, but she wants him in the game.
Wants him in the game. And that was
be his partner.
That's what I mentioned. That's what I mentioned when she picked me. I knew Janice was the strongest girl there besides her size. I said it. I knew going into this, I will never be her number one, even if we're on a team. She has a boyfriend in the game. So as much as JT, he has to go. He can't be – it's going to affect her game because when you're attached to someone, especially leaving the game, yeah, you could cut someone, but we're playing for money. We have people that are here that want to actually win. And I'm sorry, I think certain people hold a relationship over a title.
But that also shows Janice's strategic prowess because Sabina and Tex wanted to be partners super bad. Janice was thinking, me and my boyfriend away from each other, 2 teams, 2 sets of votes, smart. But Sabina and Tex wasn't thinking that way. So to me, that shows the edge that Janice has over a Sabina, just for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, interesting. Before we get to our bonus picks, thanks again, everyone, for watching Live Reality Games here, covering the Caucus Challenge. And yes, because of this, I've typed it so much, I can spell Caucus correctly, finally, after the first misspellings of cactus. Anyway, Michael DeLucas has a question out there. How come he's never heard about this? If it's in New Jersey, he wants in. Dre, how do we find out more about the Caucus Challenge and maybe how to apply for a future season you might be casting here soon?
So we do like I said, I had no idea that this live reality game community was a thing, like at all, until I met Lance. And I didn't even when I cast Lance, I didn't know till we were living in the house together. And he's like, yeah, like I've done this, that, and the third. I was like, what? So then he showed me that. But if you are ever like looking to like be cast, we do have casting open through Dre.Media on Instagram. You could always just shoot us a message on there. I think you mentioned, Dustyn, that there's like a casting page on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like I could put it up there whenever we need to cast, but I never knew about any of this. So everything that I do personally, obviously things can change now that I know about this community, is through Instagram.
Mm-hmm. And through Lance. Like Lance has kind of been there to help you out, which has been fantastic. So thank you, Lance, for getting Dre involved here in the live reality game community. Also, the link at the bottom is Instagram/Dre.Media. And then moving on, let's do a bonus pick. Jalen, what you got for your bonus? Just one person, one little bonus.
You know what? I'm gonna pick somebody that like I don't really know a lot about, but I see a lot of potential in. And I don't think it's gonna be one of the 4 young kids. I think they're just a little in over their heads, possibly. I think I don't. Oh, I could. This it's gonna be either hit or miss, but I don't really know him at all. But maybe I don't know. Is this how you say his name? Is Biedo or
Biedo?
Biedo. I think that Ava has connections, and so Biedo could be safe through that. He's kind of quiet, which in this cast could be a good thing with all the fire personalities. And I think that he seems like a person to me who might have a lot of swing votes because everyone has all these connections and he has nothing. Well, he went to high school with Ava and he knows some of them, but he doesn't have as deep as connections. So maybe Ava and Biedo might be making some swing votes this season, might be my guess. So Biedo.
I'm going a very similar route of maybe not being one of the louder people on the cast, but I'm going to go with kind of like the younger crowd, now knowing that there's 4 of them that are kind of like working together, that kind of knew of each other. So right off the bat, looking at the names, I'm partnered with Damaris. I'm going to go with Nevin. I think Damaris is like a huge, strong character in this. She seems super smart. Like everyone wanted her to do the puzzle, I think, and she backed down for some reason. But in general, like Nevin might be setting up himself pretty nice. You know, he finished 3rd. No, he finished 2nd after Ava. That's correct in the challenge too. So he's got some speed with him, and this is the challenge. So you're here to win challenges.
Yeah.
So
Nevin actually finished first,
Yeah,
but because we were partners, we got to pick before him because we were captains. So Nevin actually finished first. So that's a good inkling that you got, Dustyn.
Perfect. The bonuses of being captain. And speaking of the episode, Jalen, anything you want to hit on? We kind of talked about the cast, kind of the choices that came from it. Anything that you're looking forward to, or maybe have questions?
Oh, I'm looking forward to that fight. I'm looking forward to the preview where Janice is going at it and they're holding her back. I'm looking forward to that fight. I'm looking forward to the drama. There's like if we put up a spider web of all the connections between relationships and who went to high school and all the young kids and all the vets and the TLWL, that would your brain would explode trying to analyze it. So I'm looking forward to all of those breaking points when people realize we're playing a game. It's not a summer camp. We're playing for money. I think a lot of people are going in with that mentality, but I think a lot of people are a little too much at summer camp, and I hope they catch it quick, or else they're going to get got first.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Kristen was saying too. She really wants to see Janice pop off, and then Janice says it's coming, so make sure we stay tuned.
Janice.
For sure. I think how Dalen said, coming into the season when it was rookies versus vets, I'm sorry to the rookies. They beat us in the first round, but 90% of them would have been steamrolled. Lance and Janice were, if it was rookies versus vets, Lance and Janice would have been good in the clear because they have connections, maybe even Josh. I think that because it's rookies and vets, it's going to be such a hard game to play because every person you cut, you're initially going to have to deal with the backlash of someone they have there. Yeah. Not one person is going into this game not knowing anybody. So even with, like, for example, Lance may not know everybody, but he has people that will have his back if he goes out or if someone tries to go for him. And it's going to be, especially now that he's connected to, like, Deja, it's going to be a very big mess. And I don't think people are expecting it because I know, like, playing, I was not expecting it.
Yeah, and the one thing I'm looking forward to, even though I experienced it all, being there, watching it all, is the eliminations. Like the challenge, we always look for eliminations on the real show. So I'm excited to see what type of eliminations they are. Will it, in former Caucus Challenge, they were like freaking teenagers playing pole wrestle. Will we see that? Will we see new things? Y'all have to stay and watch on Sundays.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm excited to watch one of the episodes, though. There seems to be a gross food challenge that nobody can seem to keep down. I don't know about this one. It's not even like a nice, like, here's some sour pickles to eat. This one seems pretty out there. Jalen, you've done your share of eating challenges too, correct?
I have.
What's the most memorable in your repertoire?
Man, in Pirate Season 1, I think you and I, we won the eating. It was me and you.
Yeah,
we won for
mm-hmm.
So that was memorable because we actually, I won an eating challenge. Every other eating challenge was awful. I think in Real Foot, when it was between Michael and Lucas Stacy, I think that was the round where I didn't go on the round. But yeah, Real Foot food and eat challenges just suck. They just suck. I hate them. I suck at them. I was better when I was 17, 18, 19. But now that I'm an adult, I'm I don't want to eat anything gross. I don't know. It's just awful.
Yeah, technically I've never lost one yet. So hopefully, I had something like sour one, something like super spicy, and then you and I went up against. Did you eat the squid with me? The squid and clam juice or something?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tasty. I enjoyed it.
Doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, gross food is not my thing. People know me from my live room track record. That you put a gross food challenge in front of me, that's your round to get me out, baby. Because
ask Lance, we filmed Mole together and we had to do something with eating in there, and I was cracking up watching Lance because I could not believe how dramatic he was over what they were eating. I was like, you are not ready for Caucus. I was like, you're not ready because we eat live nasty things. We do not play in Caucus.
And it's not even being dramatic. It's just me. I just learned how to swallow a pill over a year ago. I could not. It's just something with the throat.
Well, you better prep up because I know Live to Give usually does an eating challenge. Usually
exactly. Look, don't
remind me. Dog food coming. We already know what it's going to be. So it's always dog food.
And honestly, the only time I ever did decent at a gross food eating was in reality, Race to Reality. It was the Fear Factor round, and it was the round that essentially would get me to the final three. And it was mind over matter. So that game helped me to be better at it because I knew, hey, if I want to win this game and make it to the finale, I got to do it. And I had to eat dog food then. But then in the finale, it was cat food, and then wet food just was a different animal and was my demise. So it kind of, if you want to see me do good in the grocery eating challenge, go to Race to Reality Season 4 Fear Factor round. Yes.
That was an amazing series. I'm so sad there wasn't more filmed and more put on through that same. It was really fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking, Dre, what do we have in store for this season coming out?
Oof. A lot of drama. A lot of strategic masterminds. I think people are gonna see way different sides to people than you normally see, or people that you think oh, they're not there, they're there. And I think just overall this is the beginning spoiler alert, but this is the beginning of a trilogy. So this is just the beginning. That's where I'm going to leave it at.
Well, fantastic. We'll leave it at that, folks. You can check out Dre.Media on their Instagram page. They also have a YouTube channel that is posted in the comments below. Thanks, Michael, for doing a shout out like that. Lance, Jalen, Dre, it's been fantastic. I'm here tonight talking about the Caucus Challenge, which airs every Sunday, like we talked about. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And then we'll be doing a recap interview kind of show on Mondays at 6 usually. Maybe 6 Thursday in a day or two that I have to work late, but that's besides the point. But anyway, the Caucus Challenge, go look them up on Dre.Media. Until then, we will talk to you all later. Thanks again, audience, for